Thanks for tuning into News Echoes this wonderful day. My name is Sheldon Johnson and I'm broadcasting from London. Today we're going to look at so many things. How about going to Glasgow to meet with men of timber and caliber discussing about how not to cut oak trees and timbers from the forest because of climate change. I'm so glad to be here, and I'm glad you are also watching in the studio. I have with me my colleagues from the central part of London, Nat Yapo. Ambassador Nat, you are welcome to the program.
Thank you very much, Dr. Johnson. Good morning.
And from Milan in Italy, we have our colleague, Mark Godwin. Mark, you're welcome to the program.
Thank you very much, Dr. Johnson. Good morning, viewers.
It's a great day to be in the United Kingdom because the whole world is coming to us come Sunday when COP26 will be taken over. What is COP26? COP26 is the Climate Change Conference. This world needs to be replenished. Everybody says so. Nobody's doing anything about it. Donald Trump rejected everything called the Paris Agreement, talk less of Kyoto Agreement. Now everybody's coming to Glasgow. Maybe there will be some Glasgow agreement. And mark my word, we need an agreement about climate change. Therefore, this conference is very important. The United Kingdom has been busy getting ready for it. I was listening to Nicola Sturgeon, the minister, the first minister in Scotland, saying so many things she would have wanted the whole world to hear. But for us to have a background of COP26 and what it means to have a climate change conference, let's go to the city of London where Ambassador Nad is waiting for us. Ambassador Nad, take us like we know little or nothing about climate change conferences. What has been the historical background? Where we were, where we are, and where we are going. Ambassador Nad, could you do us a favor?
Thank you very much. I'll do my best. I'm sure you people will support me with additional information. This issue of climate change, as the name connotes, the climate is changing due to human activities. That's the most basic thing. We have abused the environment, and the environment is just reacting to what we are doing. There is this saying in Nigeria that if you abuse the climate will abuse you, and do not complain. But again, it's also linked to the human activities, linked to the level of industrialization, the level of carbon emission, the level of the carbon dioxide generated by animals, human beings, is no longer being adequately, or all of it is no longer being and other organisms that.
But Ambassador Nat, let me just
Yes.
add one sentence to what you have just
Yes.
said. You said it means it's about carbon dioxide generated. Yesterday, we were being taught from the British television stations that taking pictures generates a lot of carbon dioxide, more carbon dioxide than aeroplanes traveling from London to Australia, just by taking thousands of pictures from your mobile phone.
Yes, thank you so much. And then just a quick addition to that, the agricultural activities, research has shown this, that agricultural activities combined is even producing more carbon than where we thought the problem was coming from. In the city of London, the number of vehicles we have, now there are charges for driving into some particular zones. So, but the other danger is the ice, the rate of the ice melting in the Arctic is faster than what was projected, And this, when the ice melts, the volume of water increases, and it also poses a danger to human life. The world have not taken this thing seriously, the carbon emission thing. The world has not taken climate change seriously, even though there have been alarms, more than 10 years back, 5 years now. The United Nations became more concerned than every other person, and at a particular sessions, this issue of we must do something about the climate change. If not, it will consume everybody. It is going to consume everybody. It's going to consume everybody. And so, in our own little way, what we have been asked is to what is our lifestyle? What carbons are we contributing in the environment and in the atmosphere? That is what the heads of states, presidents, prime ministers will be gathering in Glasgow, Scotland, to discuss. And again, because we have also been told by scientists, we're talking of the 2.4 Celsius increase in climate change. And one other thing we should talk of is the ozone layer is being depleted. The ozone layer, and so the sun rays is getting more directly to human race, and it has also is going to affect on so many ways. The health, our health, the health of the environment, everything is going to be affected.
Now I want to take it to the Bible. The Lord told his children, the Israelites, thousands of years ago. He says, you must leave the land fallow after 49 years of famine on it. You must leave it and then wait for 1 year for it to recuperate and then come back and work on it. Now, we are also told that he had to take them away from that land for 70 years because they've not been obeying that part. In any case, the consequences of not leaving the land fallow, because you said agricultural activities constitute a lot to this. I'm just trying to see that the creator of the heavens and the earth, who knew the earth he created, he had seen all of these and said, leave it, let it run fallow. But no, human beings will not. Are we not running into the same problem right now that is leading to Kyoto Agreement and Kyoto Agreement and Paris Agreement? Probably we're going to have a Glasgow Agreement, and it's not binding. Is it binding? All these agreements?
Well, it's not binding. But again, when it is not binding, that is why it is more serious for us to really examine our lifestyle. You see, because the mankind or the human race is more interested in the economy than the welfare or the health of the human beings. People prefer more dollars or pound sterling in their pockets than anything else, and that means that more economic activities, more industrial activities going on, and the carbons increasing. You are talking of fallow. Fallow really means to rest or to go on holidays. So the land was supposed to given this fallow, these holidays, and when you come back, you don't plant the same crops in the same plot. You move, shifting cultivation. That is one thing that our people don't do. Instead, the land has been subjected to a lot of chemicals. This thing called fertilizer is not even the best interest of the soil or even the crops. And we will talk of genetics in cropping now, and so many things are transferred from the genetic food we eat and so many other things into the system, the body. We find some individuals are not really body ready to be able to accommodate some of these chemicals being transferred from the food chains or even animal chain.
Let me ask Mark in Milan. The industrialized world, they are saying now produce less industrial goods because they're polluting the whole world. The underdeveloped countries are saying it's good for you to say we have natural resources that can make us develop our nations. How do we now balance things? Are you going to be giving us produced goods and then we'll be able to develop, or we have to make use and exploit our own resources that we may be developed? Now we have a problem on our hands. Developing countries want to develop. At what price? Should they go the way of the developed world of more pollution, or we should just go back to the primitive age because of the industrialized world? That is the challenge. What do you say, Mark?
Thank you very much, Dr. Shago. These are very sensitive issues, and it's good we are saying this here. Yes, straight to your question, I would say there needs to be a balance. Humanity need to come with a balance on what to do on this issue. The 2021 United Nations Climate Change Conference that will be holding in Glasgow, Scotland, is an important platform to address some of these things. And we hope they will all come to address it. It's a United Nations conference. So what that means is it will involve everybody. And they are coming to talk for the good of humanity. Human beings need to understand this, what you just said now, that balance matters a lot. So far, yes, because of the race in time for development, for modernization, nobody seems to care about some of these very things. And you highlighted something great, the biblical instruction on how to maintain the environment. You know, God said at a point in time, let the land stay calm, leave it for some years, leave it for some time. But we don't do all of that these days. We're just doing everything. So the climate change conference known as COP26, we hope they will all come together to look into a framework of how to change the climate.
Does anybody know why they call it 26? I know the meaning of COP, Conference of Parties, but what is the 26 about?
Yes, it's because it's the 26th United Nations conference. It's
okay.
Yes, it's the 26th edition.
That's why it's COP26. Okay.
Yes, COP26.
Okay. When we leave Glasgow, where next are we going? Do we know the next place?
Yes, the next place might be Italy, because in this COP26,
we're coming to Italy, yeah.
Sir, because this is it's a joint. The presidency of that agreement is two people, United Kingdom and Italy. So they share the
okay. Okay. Before we go, what are the things that we want to hear or see from this conference? Because it's one thing to hold the conference, it's one thing to prepare the whole work. Are we going to hear something concrete? Are the people going to be held responsible? Like Donald Trump said, I'm not a part of it. And he, in fact, removed the United States, but Joe Biden has brought the United States. Are we going to see anything concrete, or is just to jaw and nothing more than that?
We hope to see something concrete. Joe Biden will be there, and we hope to have more global stakeholders also. We hope to have discussion on the greenhouse gas emission, on how nations can talk on the distribution of gas, and we think it will not be a just ordinary meeting. There will obviously be some headway and some success.
Will Buhari be there?
Well, he's supposed to, as an emerging developing African country, and In fact, he's supposed to. There are no reasons why.
But he will be traveling anyway. He's coming for medical checkups and things like that.
Ambassador Nat might know better. Ambassador Nat will.
Okay, Nat, is Buhari coming to this conference?
Yeah, but by the press release by Femi Adesina SSA to the president, the president is already out of Nigeria. It's in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia.
Okay.
He made he and hopefully from
he's gone to Riyadh on a lesser Hajj. Okay.
Well, we'll be bringing you this first, lesser Hajj.
Yeah. Okay. We want to assure all our viewers all over the world, this time next week, we'll be bringing you the latest from Glasgow. We live in the United Kingdom. We should give you the latest. We'll be bringing you the best of COP26. Nicola Sturgeon hosting the whole world. Woman of timber and caliber. The woman who has been holding Scotland for the past 5 years. She has succeeded about 2 or 3 prime ministers. Let's see what Glasgow has done in stock for us. More importantly, we need these leaders to discuss something seriously because we need a good and clean environment, healthy environment. Now, let's go talk about these jabs. Are they really working? We understand that Colin Powell took the 2 jabs, and yet due to complications from COVID, he still died. And the question is, all these jobs, are they working? That's Iyako in London. These jobs now, 3.7 million people in the United Kingdom have taken the booster jab, which means the 3rd vaccine. Is it working? Not.
Well, the information we are picking from the public domain, and it is also coming from the scientists and the medicals. They are saying that it seems the vaccine jabs 1, 2, not talking of 3 is not working. The jab people have taken is not responsible for bringing down the COVID-19 positive infections or deaths. I
think they were very clear. They were very clear that the jabs are just to boost your immunity to fight the viruses. They're not going to kill the viruses, but they're to make sure that your immunity will fight the viruses. They were very clear. Yeah, go on.
Yeah, but the way they were shouting about it and singing is as if to say, especially United Kingdom as a country, and other people were saying it, and they said it is the vaccine that has performed the miracle, but it is now clear, loud and clear, that it is not the vaccines. If not, how do you explain that you will now be topping up maybe every 6 months or every year, and you are not even guaranteed? We now have people going back to the hospital who have had 2 solid jabs, but they are back to the hospital, or they have COVID has been able to destabilize or demobilize those people, and so that's why
you cannot control the fact that deaths in the United Kingdom have been reduced from 2,000 to 200 per day. You cannot control that, okay?
Yeah, but the issue is we really need to have a scientific explanation. What could be responsible if the scientists themselves are saying they don't know, or they are saying it's not jab?
Well, so Quo Vadis, where do we go from here? Third jab, 4th jab, 5th jab, 6th jab? What can we do?
Well, the scientists are trying to let us believe that we are going to COVID-19 is going to be around for a long time. They are already talking of 2022, and then you will now have to accept it as a reality, maybe a new normal. And then they are talking of just say it is flu, maybe advanced flu, or
It's now advanced flu from coronavirus.
Yeah.
Well, it appears that humanity is faced with this challenge and we cannot run from it. I believe that the experts, that is, the scientists, are doing their best. At least they have managed to reduce 2,000 deaths a day to 200 in the United Kingdom. We just have to continue trying. We hope that these jobs will not have everlasting effect on human beings like the conspiracy theories are making us to believe that our DNAs have been changed. But we have no choice. I think the job is like democracy. You have no choice about democracy. So you better stick to democracy that you know. So we better stick to job that we know. Democracy is not the best form of government, but is the only form of government that is most suitable that we know now. Uh, except what would you like to advise the people out there, Nat?
Well, I think this formula of dream,
Mm,
and dream, we're talking of the diet. What diet do you take? Do you
the
take
rest.
junk? Do you take junk, or you go for greens? And then you're talking of adequate rest. Adequate rest, or
Mm,
maybe as recommended by WHO, 8 hours minimum. You could
mm,
have more than that if you have the time. And we're also talking of exercising the body
mm.
on a daily basis.
This.
And then A is the alternative therapy, which
Okay.
is natural to the body, because the body can,
Ginger and all those kind of stuff and
yeah,
whatever kind of
and
carrot and the rest.
motivation. You
So
have to
what
be,
is M, Ambassador Nat?
yes.
What is M?
Are you
What
hearing
is
me?
M? Mm.
M M is motivation.
Oh, okay. Dream, motivation. Okay. Let me quickly ask Mark in Italy. Mark,
Yes, sir.
what is going on in Italy? Is the rate of infection going down, or is going up, or is stabilized? How about the rate of death concerning COVID?
Yes, it's a similar thing you have all over in Europe, like in the UK also. It's all the same thing. The human body is similar all over the world. So, what happens to Mr. Giwa happens to Mr. Peter, happens to Mr. Lorenzo, happens to Mr. I mean, all over the same behavior. Yes, we're having the rates increasing in Italy, and we're having it also like that in France and Spain, like we're monitoring. And yes, also, we are also giving the booster jobs. Some people are being given the booster jobs, those that took the two jobs before. But
Okay.
also, like you're saying, it doesn't seem to be the answer to anything. People are still, the infection rate is still climbing, regardless of all these booster
Yes,
jobs.
the infection rate is climbing, but is the death rate climbing?
Well, compared to the initial, when
Mm.
we, the initial stage of COVID-19, the death rate is not that high again. So we don't have that very high death rate, but
So
infection is climbing.
what the governments are doing is that let's hold on to what we have while at least it has reduced death rates by 90%. Let's hold on to it. Even though infection is climbing, many people don't who are infected right now don't go to hospitals, do they?
That's correct.
Yeah, and they
Exactly.
get healed within 2 or 3 days.
Yes,
The
people are,
coronavirus disappear within 2 or 3 days.
yes, people are
So,
having it.
so do we now come to that position where we say, let us live with coronavirus like influenza, and it will go if we pray or something? Definitely, jab is not doing it the way we wanted or would have loved. Is that what we stay with now?
That's what we'll stay with. And like Ambassador Nat said, we just have to accept that coronavirus is another form of flu. So, and the flu has its season. The winter is the flu season. So winter is also the corona season now, and we probably will live with this for some time.
Okay,
So
okay, okay. Quickly, before we go on break, why is coronavirus not invading them ravagiously in Africa? I mean, uh, people have died of coronavirus in Africa, but there's nothing like the scale we've seen in Europe and developed world. What is the key thing? Is it the temperature, or is it just that the young population, or what?
I would say it's more of the immunity. You see, in Africa, people are prone to germs and polluted environments. So, and they've lived with
Bacteria,
it.
malaria, parasites, things like
Yes,
that. Mm.
and they've lived with it for years. So the body has become immune to that. So Corona coming, they have that level of immunity to ward it off. That this is my own assumption. Because we've gone through, if you look at Africa, a lot of people are so hard prone, they live in dirty environment, filthy environment, and their body has become so immune. They are now strong. The immunity is strong because they've gone through that process. So you have a situation where anything that comes cannot get them because they've gone
Yeah.
through
Yeah,
more.
that's a fair way to look at it. And
Yes,
now, Dr. Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala said again, Africans don't lump their old parents in one place called home, home residence home. Rather, they stay in the family, and therefore the ability for coronavirus to go and ravage a whole home of hundreds of elderlies will not occur. Well, that was Dr. Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala explaining that cultural differences may also be involved. Is this correct as well?
well,
Well,
yes. Okay, go ahead, sir. Go ahead,
okay,
Ambassador.
to a very large extent, because I think what she was talking of, you have this communal or community lifestyle, and as Mark also said, the 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 environment, the natural place you grow from also support your immunity system. What do you eat? What we eat in the in Africa mostly is just from the backyard or from the farm.
Yeah,
Mm,
Green
that's true.
green vegetable you pluck from
exactly.
the you pluck and cook that same minute and you take. It doesn't go to the food chain process of 6 months or 3 months and it comes out.
Losing all the mineral values, and you are right.
Yeah.
We'll go on a short break. When we return, Nigeria in crisis, we want to look at what is going to happen in Anambra state elections come 6th of November. Secondly, we want to look at what the Minister of Justice and Attorney General of Nigeria, Mr. Malami, has been saying. He has all the uh, sponsors of Igboho without having one sponsor of the bandits and Boko Haram. What a nation! But we will want to zoom in on Nigeria being number one country in Africa. Don't go away. We'll be right back.
Schengen Story magazine is an African international bi-monthly magazine based in Milan, Italy, and founded in 2016. The publication focuses on personalities, fashion, style, entrepreneurship, and
Thank you for watching News Echo. And we will really, really want you to put your advert here that the whole world may hear about you. We're talking about Nigeria right now. And election is coming up on the 6th of November, and that is the gubernatorial election in Anambra State. We really want to discuss this one. We are scared that this election is going to be a show of power between the federal government and the IPOB. Ambassador Nat, please give us the background to this election November 6th. And let me just roll the drum because some people may need to hear this one. Go ahead, Ambassador Nat.
Thank you very much. Anambra State is a state in the southeast geopolitical zone, and other states in that zone are Imo, Enugu, Ebonyi, and which other one again? I think those are they have 5 states in that geopolitical.
Yes, they have. They have Anambra, Enugu, Ebonyi, Abia, Imo. Go on.
Yeah. Okay. So and our normal election cycle year will have been 2023, but for Anambra State, it's off season because there were challenges in gubernatorial elections in the past. And so INEC has fixed November 6, 2021 for elections in Anambra State. Anambra State has 21 local governments. Awka is the capital of Anambra State. 21 local governments. And the normal thing INEC will do is to deploy their staff and ad hoc staff to conduct this election. But for quite some time now, there have been serious challenges, especially security-wise, in Anambra State and in the southeast. And this is also coupled or combined with the demand of IPOB or even MASOB of wanting self-determination, wanting a Biafra country, saying that the war that was fought, Nigeria Biafra war, hasn't ended because the Igbos have been marginalized. But as we approach November 6th, which is just, I think, 9 days or so from today, there are serious signals of insecurity. People are being killed, correctional facilities burned down, police stations burned down, no work on Mondays. Now Anambra has now, or even Southeast has now declared Saturday a working day. The schools will be open on Saturdays, and so IPOB had declared if Kanu is not free by November 4, then there should not be elections in Anambra State. But the federal government is coming out to say no matter what happens, the elections must hold. Then
So
that Anambra elections must hold, and IPOB is saying Anambra elections will not hold. And so we are now, the battle line has been drawn on the sand of Anambra State, and who will blink first? Is it the federal government, INEC, or is it IPOB? That is the question.
That is the question. Now, thank you very much for that background. And it's getting exciting right now. I'm really excited. It's like on the left corner is the federal government, on the right corner is IPOB. Mark, you are the referee. Bang, 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 bang. Who is going to play first? Is there going to be election in Anambra or not? Mark Godwin, tell us now, or keep your mouth shut forever.
I like this. In fact, you should be one of the INEC referees and officials.
I'm ready. If the federal government wants me, I'm ready.
Wonderful. Wonderful. And that's an angle we should look into. Bringing the Nigerian diaspora to monitor elections or get involved also, because it will help to have a thorough and a well-aligned, arranged election for them. Another election will hold. There's nothing IPOB can do about this, because it's going against the arrangement will really go against a lot. To take note that money has been spent to buy equipment, money has been spent to recruit officers, money has been spent for a lot of things, and that's taxpayers' money. So the federal government can't invest into this, and one group of people will come and scatter the whole thing. IPOB has their reasons. IPOB has their reasons, but their reasons are not enough to disrupt that election, because it must hold. We all know why.
Let's get a scenario. The federal government has got its vehicles out, has got the NYSC core members out. They are there on that day. The polling booths are there, and then all of a sudden, shooting starts from one Idemili local government or one from the Onitsha local government, and then people are hearing from a mobile phone, and they are watching one another being slaughtered, and you think people will kill in other parts of Anambra voting? Do you think that will happen? Don't you think IPOB will be thinking, by the time we make appearances in 2 different polling booths going viral, don't you think others will scamper right into their hearts? Is that what you're saying?
Well, but also on this IPOB thing, there are 2 factions of IPOB.
Okay.
There's a faction that says it should hold. There's another faction that is saying it mustn't hold. So we don't know what because a statement came out yesterday, Monday, sorry, that yes, Anambra election can hold. That was from IPOB also. And another faction said, no, you can't do this.
But you know, IPOB, the people in IPOB are not stupid. The federal government can generate a pseudo IPOB information and say, let it hold. The IPOB people are not that stupid. So the federal government also will want to break them down by bringing some pseudo reports. But what we are trying to say is that if they remove their ability to phone one another, will that not be help in disallow them from communicating and things going viral on that day? But if they do that, how will the federal government communicate? And secondly, if only one NYSC member is killed, will that not disrupt everything? Will that not be too much? And we're just looking at these scenarios so that the federal government will be in a position to take charge. There should be 7 different scenarios that the federal government should be looking at. That is scenario 1, scenario 2, scenario 3. What are the different ways IPOB could come out and stop the election? And then IPOB should be thinking, is it in our own best interest to stop this election? Because they will soon give us an emergency state, and there will be an administrator from Katsina State. So why should we not allow one figurehead to be there, either chosen from ABGA or whatever? And instead of making INEC leader sit somewhere and the man conjuring some figures and writing it out. But these are just possible things that we hope the federal government is looking at, because they must be able to second guess the IPOB. 7 different scenarios they should be looking at now, with all of them monitoring screens being put in all the places. But I'm convinced that unless the core of IPOB change their mind there will be loss of lives on 6th November. Whether INEC brings up a figure or not, that is not the issue. They can always write it. Many times they've been writing it underneath their desk anyway. The Osun State one is still very fresh in our memories. But let's ask Nat in
Yes,
London.
sorry, let me add to what you are saying.
Yeah.
There is this group, like we said earlier, they call de facto Biafran customary government.
Okay.
De facto Biafran customary government. They are really against what the IPOB are planning. So, and now what we have is a situation where the government is working along with them to make sure that day holds, because they are also against this sit-at-home order. They are against so many of these IPOB things. So it's that they might also have a clash of two movements, two organizations.
Okay. Do they have a face to it? The de facto Biafra?
Yes.
Do they have face?
Face like how? Well, how do you mean?
Face, names.
Yes, they do.
Okay.
They've said that it must go ahead. They are on the side of the government because this is an election. Nigeria, the southeast of Nigeria is not yet an
independent
territory. It's still under Nigeria. So somebody must represent each of the states. A governor must.
What you are saying is quite right. Anambra State is part of Nigeria. The Southeast is part of Nigeria. Absolutely. The federal government should be able to be in position, but we are saying that we have an incompetent federal government that could not stop banditry, that could not stop Boko Haram in over 10 years. And it's not about Buhari administration. All of them packed together. They are incompetent. They are clueless. They don't know how to use their entrepreneurial skills to keep and quell riots. And that's the challenge we're having in Anambra come 6th November. The IPOB probably knew and still knowing the weaknesses of the federal government. And that is the challenge we're having. We don't have a competent federal government. That is the issue. We have a federal government military that can harass people without guns. But they cannot harass bandits, and they are begging bandits, and they are paying bandits, and they are paying Boko Haram and reinstating Boko Haram people who are.
Gumi is saying shit. Gumi is telling you that if you even talk to the bandit, if you do anything to the bandits, Nigeria will scatter. I mean,
if you call them terrorists, he said there will be no more Nigeria. I mean, this is the kind of federal government we are dealing with. So it's not that we are dealing with a competent federal government. These are incompetent people right from top to bottom. And that's the challenge that we're having. IPOB is supposed to be a nobody, but given the situation that we have, that is the Nat, or maybe Nat, you want to put yours there. I'm just postulating that IPOB threat should have been nothing to a nation as big as Nigeria. But IPOB threat becomes gigantic because of the ineffectiveness and incompetence of the federal government.
Well, I just want to add this way. We are here today because of a monumental governmental incompetence. It is very monumental. We should not give them any room. And we have IPOB today has been created because of a monumental incompetent government. And when you zero it in the Southeast, you have the 5 Southeast governors abdicating their responsibilities. They were elected to govern each state in that. But as we speak, the 5 governors cannot provide any governance for the Southeast. The IPOB that we have now is like a monster. You know, the IPOB people have been recruiting the young ones into their fold. So, but IPOB has become a monster that cannot be controlled even by the IPOB people themselves. More powerful and others, they are not able to rein in their IPOB members, and so those IPOB members and then cultists and so many factors have come in to.
Yes, you are right. You are very right, because the IPOB have recruited the younger ones and indoctrinated them that the rest of the federal government, they don't like you, they don't want you. Unfortunately, Buhari said so somewhere in the United States, and they are going with that one, and that is why they are obeying IPOB. Sit at home and they sit at, and with the average Igbo man wants to be in the field work doing business. That's the average Igbo man. So for him to obey IPOB's order, sit at home, means a lot, and that is the challenge, isn't it?
Yeah, so just to continue, as I was saying, recently Buhari made this statement that Nigeria is used to rowdy elections, which means there are those are not elections. Democracy was not supposed to be a rowdy way of conducting elections. Conducting elections should that after that 4 years, people should be happy to renew the mandate of those they elected 4 years ago. But
no, Buhari always calls an own goal. Buhari always calls an own goal. How could somebody say that the 5% will not be taken care of? I mean, he's always just calling. How can he? When I read it, he said the European government should leave us alone because we are used to rowdy elections. As if that is the norm. Yes, sorry to cut in, but go on.
No, that's okay. So that is the situation with Anambra State is finding herself, Southeast is finding herself, and even Nigeria, with the level of insecurity. We have been told that in the past, in the Northeast, elections are held in troubled areas. But what they have been doing in the Northeast on the day of election or 2 days of election, they move everybody in this local government, the local government headquarters.
Wow.
And they conduct the elections. And again, the candidates themselves will not even be in their local government. Some like Ndume has not been to his local government for years, but he keeps winning the Senate seat, the senatorial seat of Borno South. So this one is happening. And Anambra, what we even have now is only APGA that is campaigning in Anambra State. The other people, they are campaigning in Delta State, campaigning in Lagos Market and Ladipo Market. Some of them are even United States of America campaigning for elections that will take place in Anambra State. So that is the confusion on ground. And INEC ad hoc staff started resigning yesterday. They don't want to participate. Nobody wants to die.
Let me ask Mark, is this Anambra election is getting more exciting? Like you said, it's going to take place. But let me just ask you, is INEC going to be the arbiter? I mean, they're going to determine who wins, because it's going to be difficult to come out under stringent measures IPOB and federal government are giving. Even with the number of, the federal government is bringing 33,000 personnel. 34,000, sorry, beg your pardon. And so at the end of the day, will INEC officials not just write their own figures? Seriously speaking, and I'm not joking.
Yes, first of all, let me say that yesterday morning, contrary to what Ambassador Nat said, yesterday morning, INEC said there was no officer that has resigned. INEC came out with a press release that the officers are all still there. The resident electoral commissioner called Nwachukwu Oji denied all the reports on the news platform that they were resigning, that nobody has resigned. And also, not only APGA is campaigning in Anambra, a lot of other parties are campaigning right there in Anambra. The man we had last week from the Peace Party is campaigning in Anambra very strongly. ADC is campaigning inside Anambra.
By the way, who is the representative of ADC?
Yes, it's Nwachukwu. It's called Akachukwu.
Akachukwu. Okay. But he has not come to our platform. You have to come to this platform for you to be recognized.
Yes, we're going to have him on the platform. We're going to have him. I'm planning that we have him when he has won. because he's winning.
he
ADC,
needs publicity right now, not when
yes,
he has
sir.
won.
Yes, we're doing that. We're doing that. So our campaign is going on. Yes, there could be some very strange occurrences in Anambra, but it's not stopping the election, and things are still going on. Electoral man said nobody resigned. Now, also,
Okay.
Buhari's statement on our election is rowdy. That was in the credence visit of all the ambassadors from Finland, Burundi, Denmark, France, Ireland, Cape Verde. So he was saying that for their safety, like Additional is trying to tell us. He said for their own safety, they should stay away from our elections. It's very rowdy because they could be hot or something could happen. He's also good, he's saying so, because now he's in power. He should look into that aspect of rowdy elections that are not, it's not safe.
But
so
is it not the international practice to send in foreign observers?
Yes.
So is he trying to say we want to stop foreign observers because it's rowdy and you may be killed? Is that what he's saying?
Yes, that's what Additional claim he's saying.
But that would not be right. That would not be right. I mean, people in Aso Rock should not just concoct some things in their brains and think that Nigeria has spoken it. These are very little rats representing us. Rats because we're not sure our votes counted for them. So Additional cannot come up and say our elections are rowdy. What perimeter? What are the yardsticks he used to say they are rowdy? What is the definition of rowdiness? And have we measured up to that rowdiness? I mean, you can't just open your mouth when you have not conducted something scientific, something experimental, something that is empirical, and you just say our elections are rowdy. How did you come to the position of rowdiness with our elections? What conceptualizations did you use? What framework before you can say an election is rowdy? I mean, we just don't say things because we are in a place, then you can't just say whatever you like. He has not that right. Somebody should tell him. You can't just say the elections are rowdy in Nigeria. What if I say presidents are lousy in Nigeria? What are the parameters have I used to say presidents are lousy? You can't just make a sweeping, generalized statement. These are the things people say in the pub house when they are drinking beer. You cannot say that when you are representing a country. I mean, somebody should tell them in that sort of, as long as you hold this position on behalf of Nigeria, Nigerians are paying you. You cannot just open your mouth and say elections are rowdy. That's the point I'm making.
Very good point, sir. Very good point, sir.
Yes. Anyway, we just have to move on. Otherwise, we may get rowdy here too. Ambassador Nat.
Yes.
Let's, because I'm watching the time, and we may soon go on a short break, and we know that adverts are coming. They're coming. Ambassador Nat, the crisis in Nigeria, are they receding? I'm talking of banditry and Boko Haram. How well are Nigerians handling this one? You remember Malami came up with names of sponsors of Igboho. Some of them, he said, are linked with Boko Haram. Can you update us in this area, please?
Yeah, I think Malami, who is the Attorney General and the Minister of Justice for Nigeria, has been advised to go back to Kebbi to sell recharge cards.
To sell recharge cards?
Yes.
Come on.
It's not fit for purpose. As the Attorney General of the Federation, Minister of Justice, he's better at selling recharge cards in Kebbi State.
How did they arrive at that conclusion?
No, because the man is not competent, grossly incompetent, monumentally incompetent. And these are some of the challenges, these are some of the individuals contributing to heightened tension in Nigeria. You know, the other time he was talking of declaring a state of emergency in Anambra State. He's not the governor, he's not the head of state, he's not National Assembly. But anyway, the the level of insecurity in Nigeria is not abating. It is getting worse, especially in the northwest geopolitical zone, especially in Sokoto State, Zamfara, Kebbi, Katsina, Kaduna, and even part of Niger. Niger is not in the northwest, but politically, Niger belongs to the northwest. In Goroyo, Sokoto State, in a market day, more than 40 people were slaughtered. They brought daylight. In Niger State, in a place called Mashegu local government, the bandits attacked a mosque 5:30 a.m. and another 40 were killed. So many were injured. Some people are still not being accounted for, and so the insecurity continues. And even in the southwest, there are pockets of killings here and there. Same thing with the north central zone. So it's not funny at all. There was the attack and jailbreak in Oyo town, Oyo state, where some prisoners escaped. And yesterday there was a bomb blast in that same premises, and we're told that those bombs were planted on the day of the attack in Oyo town, in Oyo state. And the Southwest governor had to meet yesterday to address the serious security threat in the Southwest geopolitical zone.
Wow. To what extent can we link this to Odua Nation? Is it because of the growing importance of Odua Nation among the Yorubas? Now, the federal government is taking the brunt.
Well, it's possible that jail attack, we have been told, we have been told by Aregbesola, who is the Honorable Minister for Internal Affairs, who happens to be former governor of Osun State, who happens to be from the Southwest. He said that attack was to embarrass the federal government of Nigeria, who we want to embarrass already embarrassed nation.
Okay, I'm going to ask you a serious question, Ambassador Nat, and I hope our friend in Italy will be able to answer the same question. At what point do we stop referring to the federal government as federal government? Because if they could not be in charge of the Southeast says nobody should go to work, and the people on their own respect that one. And in the Southwest now, they now bomb prisons, and the effect of federal government has come to zero. At what point do we now stop calling them federal government? Do we just call them something else, northern government, harassing southern government? Because at a point, the idea that Buhari and his cohorts are being called federal government will just stop, because they're not federalizing any governance in Nigeria. Please, a short answer, and then I go to Mark in Milan with short answer. Because when you say federal government, as a student of political science, I'm just saying, are they really federal?
Well, we can loudly say that we don't. What we have in Nigeria is a unitary system and not a federal system. Okay. The 36 states and Abuja are supposed to be the federating units making up that federation. But we see someone in Abuja sit down and just send a circular to everybody in 36 states. And once they get the memo, that's what they act on. But meanwhile, you have governors who are supposed to be chief security officers of their state.
Okay, yeah, I understand.
Instructions to even one police constable, not the commissioner of each state. So we and this is what has heated the agitation of people. Give us a sense of belonging. We are part of this country. We are part of this federation you are talking of, but we are not feeling it. We are not seeing it. There's nothing on ground.
Okay, we just have to stop there for a short break. When we return, there is a Sudan coup. Sudan has been challenged and re-challenged, and there is a coup in Sudan. And now we have three countries in Africa, two of them in West Africa with military officials. We have one in Mali, we have one in Guinea-Conakry, now we have the third one in Sudan. The federal government will be feeling jittery in Nigeria if all the countries surrounding them are working under the military. Well, maybe the Nigerian government is actually military because when you think of Obasanjo and Buhari, they're still like a continuation of the old. But don't go away. We'll be right back to discuss coups and counter coups in Africa. We'll be right back. Welcome back to News Echoes, where we give you information, facts, and analysis. You don't have to agree with us. You just need to make up your own mind, having had all sides of the story. So please, we are presenting you all the information, facts, as we have them, trying to make sense out of it. Then you will decide. I'm so glad we continue with this. My colleagues are in the city of London and Milan. We want to look at the coup that has just happened in Sudan. The removal of the democratic president, we were not sure. Now, watch this one. Look at the reaction of the people of Sudan. I guess this is in Khartoum, but let's watch it.
لا ردة، الردة مستحيلة أيا كان المسميات، أيا كان المبررات، الردة مستحيلة. هذا بيان أول. خروج الشعب السوداني والشجرة، جماهير الشجرة نساء ورجالا، نرفض رفضا باتا أي شكل من أشكال الاحتيال على الديمقراطية والمدنية. الشعب شعبي أقوى، الردة مستحيلة. الشعب شعبي أقوى، الردة مستحيلة. قالوا البرهان علق الوثيقة الدستورية عن حالة الطوارئ. قالوا البرهان الشعب شعبي أقوى، الشعب شعبي أقوى. وما بيحكمنا برهان الطيرة.
Well, you have seen it with your two eyes. They are protesting against that coup, unlike what we saw in Guinea-Conakry, where people came to hail the military intervention. Well, we know that that is an aberration. We wanted democracy to uphold, but it will not happen. Please, Nat, give us a background. There was a president in Sudan who went to fight and he was killed. And there's what's all this story about?
Well, the Sudan is a troubled country or a troubled spot, hanging there between the Sahara and the Sahel. To the east, and we remember there used to be a larger Sudan until Southern Sudan was created as a country. But there have been serious challenges in Sudan, especially security and economic challenges and even political. We're talking of 2019 or thereabout, 2 years ago. What is on ground now is confusion, and what I see it is more of a change of government, because the present government in Sudan is a transitional one made up of military and civilian partners. And the new military rulers are coming to say that they intervened because Sudan was heading to a civil war. But you are seeing a transition, and the transition is supposed to end in a few months' time. They are not patient enough. They also want to participate in whatsoever is left of Sudan. So this is the scenario that has been created, and as Dr. Johnson has said, His Grace, in the past, the civilians will come out rejoicing, supporting the coup. But this time around, they have poured out into the street of Khartoum to demonstrate their great displeasure against whosoever military regime is coming to say they want to save Sudan from war. They want to sort out the crisis, and the people are saying no. All the world international bodies, starting from the UN, the AU, the European Union, have squarely condemned the action of the present crop of military people now in the Sudan, and they have been told to hand over and let the transition runs out, and let democracy take root in Sudan, and not just anyhow government. I put it that way.
Yeah, we have a problem here. I don't think the United States of America will have anything to say about what a proper democracy is after the January 6th uh, rowdiness, to use additional words, Buhari's words on Capitol Hill. With that kind of rowdiness, the USA is taken out of the picture. And do you think the federal government, in its inner core in Nigeria, will be thinking the military may be getting restless because of what happened in Guinea Conakry, what happened in Mali? These are countries within the geopolitical zone of Nigeria. Nigeria is very close to Sudan, though we're not part of that. We're always called West Africa, but Sudan and Nigeria, they have a load of citizens that have mingled for several years. And do you think Nigeria will be thinking that we have to be very cautious?
You see, as you know, the federal government or the president is very quick to condemn other people's country when you have these challenges, forgetting that what we even have in Nigeria as we speak, I want to honestly say that it's even worse than a coup, military coup. Because if we cast our minds back to Afghanistan, it took the Taliban 11 days to march into Kabul, and the prime minister had taken flight. Anytime there is a coup now, either in Sudan, in Mali, or Guinea Conakry, our military are not comfortable, and especially with the link of insecurity coming from that region into Nigeria, our people are not comfortable, and so that is the position we find ourselves, because we keep asking ourselves, are we sure that we are going to make 2023? Are we sure that the challenges we are facing will not snowball into something else?
Yeah. Mark, what do you say? Coups everywhere. We really don't know where the next coup is coming from. We thought we have forgotten about coups in Africa, but now happening around Nigeria, and like Ambassador Nat said, even the one going on in Nigeria looks like a coup d'etat government. And there are so many things of the coup, especially the abduction of Kanu from Kenya to Nigeria. You see that as kind of what warlord governments do. You just go and kidnap people in other people's country, and you still call yourself government. Governments don't behave that way. Governments will go to the Kenya government and say, "We have someone we suspect. Can you hand him over to us?" That's how governments behave. So when you now abduct someone from another man's country, it shows that you are not a government on your own, or at least you are not working with the Geneva Convention. So with all of this kind of thing, do you think those who live by the sword may die by the sword one day?
Obviously, those who live by the sword will obviously die by the sword someday. What we have in Sudan is very strange. Yes, on Monday morning, early Monday morning, the military forces arrested the Sudan acting prime minister and some senior government officials, and they disrupted also the internet services. They blocked bridges, blocked roads in the capital, Khartoum, and the country was plunged into confusion. I think Ambassador Nata said it. It's even though they are saying it's not coup per se, but it is still a coup because a change of government has come in. They are also bringing civilians into it. In response to all that is what the video we just saw. People took to the streets to chant and protest, and the people were more also concerned about the off stage of internet and online activities. So they were tired. They went on the street. They burned tires. They were burning things, and they were chanting. The people are stronger, stronger. Retreat is not an option. That was what they were saying in Arabic. So Sudan is in a state of confusion now. We are still looking. Everybody's watching what next could happen. On Tuesday morning, the information minister confirmed that the acting prime minister has been arrested and taken to an undisclosed location. And several officials were also detained. So we're still watching. We can't really say, nobody can give a precise account of what is really going on, but we are watching, and the people are protesting. People are angry. This is repeating the same process all over again, like we saw in 2019. So this is it for now. Yes, sir, Dr. Shagun, Nigeria is on that verge. The situation in Nigeria is worse than even a coup situation, because this is more like a dictatorial situation where people are held under their own will, and it's been going on for months, but we hope it will come to an end very soon as we draw close to 2023. Thank you.
Oh, thank you very much. Ambassador Nat in London, is it not because the democratic agents are failing, democratic agents in terms of political parties? Please help us look at the APC and PDP crisis. When these agents are failed within the framework of democracy, then the military will come in. It appears that the APC, the other day, asked for their executive governors, executive leaders, beg your pardon, and instead of having 36 executive leaders, the Abuja making the 37 one, they had about 72 with parallel executive leaders in many states. And so the parties have failed. PDP too, they have failed. And the other parties are just like minions. They're too small to even make an impact on a local government when they all combine. And that's the challenge we're having. So we have a very lousy democratic agents. The APC and PDP have not put themselves forward as any reliable agents of democracy. therefore, we see leaders like Malami and the rest, Shane and Femi Adesina, becoming demagogues within the system. Is it where the problem is? Can you enlighten us further on the APC PDP crisis?
You know, the President Buhari and Adesina just confirmed the scenario we are in now. When you have a rowdy democracy, a rowdy election, what else do you expect? You get inconclusive elections, you get parallel officials for congresses, and it continues. The long and short of it is that democracy, the practice of democracy in some African countries like Nigeria, has failed, and these are signposts of a failed state, failed democracy, and you are not even too sure now. Like in Sudan, Nigeria, you don't know: are we in a military regime, a dictatorship, or are we in a democratic dispensation? Because that is where the challenge is. You don't know exactly, we don't know exactly where we are. Maybe our leaders know, I don't know. And what has been happening in the APC now, they have this deluge of out of 36 states, almost 28 states returned parallel election officials. PDP is still battling. Maybe they will know tomorrow whether there's going to be a national convention or not, because Secondos is still in court, claiming that the constitution of the party was not followed in removing him, though APC and PDP says Secondos had not been removed. You have the issue of consensus chairman, which is still being disputed. The issue of consensus national secretary for PDP from the southeast, two people are laying claim to that position, and so many other messy things that are happening. So this is we are not sure. We are not sure what is happening the next tomorrow and then days to come.
And then all of these democratic agents, that is, these political parties, pressure groups with all their challenges, they're not to couple them with ineffective judiciary, extra long time of judicial decisions. All of them culminate into a failing state, isn't it? I mean, I'm looking at the judiciary, which should have cut things short, prim and proper. But our judiciary is like a pawn on their chessboard. Someone giving a decision in Anambra, another one changing it in Guzo, this on the same matter, and another one from Abuja, so that we have conflicting judgments from different judges, even not respecting the higher level of hierarchy in judiciary anymore. The Chief Justice of Nigeria the other day had to be begging judges not to give contrary decisions, especially from a lower court against a higher court. I mean, we've never seen things as bad as this before in the Nigerian judiciary.
Well, when you have a rowdy government, what do you expect? We actually, I just wanted to add, our experience even with the National Assembly is as good as the National Assembly has been suspended by the executive. What we just have now is the executive arm of government and a limping judiciary, or a limp duck judiciary who are not really performing. Excuse me. No, yes, performing.
Let me use the occasion to ask Mark in Milan. We have a non-performing judiciary, or they perform and they don't look too good in there. I mean, the annoying part is a lower court overruling a higher court, and something that was taken to court in Anambra affecting Anambra State being discussed in another court, maybe of a magistrate level in Guzo, far away from Anambra. And you think, no, this is not happening to Nigeria, a place where our judiciary was next to that of the British.
So, it's a very, we don't know. Sometimes we are caught up with who we are. What are we? The other time you were asking on the federal government, if Nigeria is a federal state, and when you look at things, we are really we've not given a definite system of governance to what we are, because we are not practicing any of that. The federal government is a nation's system of decimating power to the central government or to the local government. And there's that distribution of power in the federal government. But in our case, the federal control holds everybody. So I'm really looking at it like more of a dictatorial thing. Nigeria is just caught up. Sometimes students of politics, post-science students, we really don't know how to place our country. We want to do this, we want to do that, we want to be federal, we want to be unitary, we want to be, we're just mumbling all around. So it will need some real good, intelligent people to be at the helms of affairs to redirect Nigeria to the exact position we want to take, the exact governance style of government. We need to have intelligent people at that top there. And also, those intelligent people should be able to define, and let's work on that definition. If we're going to be federal, let's go on the path of federalism. If we're going to be otherwise, then so
yeah. Well, in a country that the citizens are helpless and they look at themselves as helpless, the democratic agents are just doing whatever they like. The parties are not responsible to the government. Judiciary appears not to be responsible to anyone, and the legislature is also not responsible to anyone except to their stomachs. And you now find that at a point you say, to what extent can we take this further? PMB, before the election, about 6 years ago, said he will never go on medical tourism. Now, the same PMB has demonstrated medical tourism as the only way for him and his family to be healed. And even his wife said the hospital in Asarok is not good as a clinic. And this was his own wife. And then he continuously go on medical tourism. So any other Nigerian is not entitled to that one from the same money. And how do you feel as a Nigerian when one Nigerian, Muhammad Buhari, and his family can go to abroad for medical treatment, but the rest cannot? So they're stuck with whatever they have at home.
We feel bad, even though we are here in Europe, but we have loved ones, we have families, friends there. And we don't like this situation for them. They are caught up in that pit hole of very bad life. Everyday life in Nigeria is a struggle. Everyday life is you thank God every night and say you made it that day, because anything will happen. And to top it all, no health system working, no good health facility. Hospitals are not working. Doctors are all leaving. Now we have the brain drain of all our doctors going to Canada, coming to Europe, going
Saudi Arabia.
So it's terrible. And when those in the helms of affairs can't do anything, they can do, but they don't want to do it.
So it appears that George Orwell's Animal Farm is coming to play, where he says that Western medication for Buhari and his family, African herbalists for the rest. Is that the situation we have now? That's the George Orwell 2021.
That's it. That's it.
That's it.
No.
So African Herbalists for All, the Western medication for Buhari and his family. We're going on a short break. When we return, we'll be looking at the Nigerian economy to be pumped up with E-naira. What is E-naira? We will be looking at it, and the president of Nigeria has just inaugurated the E-naira, and we want to look at how it's going to affect the economy of Nigeria, and if there are going to be challenges, and how it will be operated. But don't go away. There is a juicy part we want to bring to you, because the federal government budget is also bringing $200 million loan for mosquito nets. Did you hear me? We shall be looking at the details of $200 million mosquito nets loan for malaria-infected Nigeria at a time when malaria vaccine has been discovered. I'm laughing in African language. Don't go away, we'll be right back.
Schengen Story magazine is an African international bi-monthly magazine based in Milan, Italy, and founded in 2016. The publication focuses on personalities, fashion, style, entrepreneurship, and culture for Africans. Though articles on food, movies, fitness, music, travel, sports, technology, and books are also featured. Our lives full of best stories. A lot can happen in a month. Expand your mind, change your world. It's Schengen Story magazine's full editions. Celebrating Africans make an impact. Read better, the inside story. Your fashion magazine for a better lifestyle, inspiring stories for you. Your monthly dose of entertainment, a better mind keeping you updated.
Hashtag Schengen Story magazine. Get Schengen Story magazine full editions.
Welcome back to News Echo. We give you information, facts, and analysis so that you may have a formed opinion. But you don't have to take our own opinion. You have to form your own opinion and take decision for your country. That's why we're here, just to give you information, and then you take the decision. We saw how elegantly President Muhammad Buhari inaugurated the E-naira. Let me leave it to my colleague, Ambassador Nat, to tell us
is
more.
a digital version of the paper naira currency issued by the Central Bank of Nigeria. It's not a cryptocurrency, as cryptocurrencies are banned in Nigeria in spite of their popularity. Central bank digital currencies are issued and regulated by the central bank, while the others are out of government control. So how does it work? Let's say you want to send 100 naira to your cousin Miriam. She lives in a remote village without a bank branch. So usually you would buy mobile phone recharge cards of that value, load them to your phone, and text your cousin. Miriam will then go to any phone card retailer and discount her 100 naira mobile phone credit for 95 naira. With the E-naira, instead of buying phone credits, you will debit your bank account for 100 naira, convert to E-naira, and transfer it to your cousin Miriam. She can spend the funds directly from her phone or transfer and get cash. Also, the E-naira is built on a blockchain technology, which means you cannot have a duplicate or fake E-naira. What are the advantages? The E-naira is expected to bring in a majority of Nigerians who have no bank account but have a mobile phone into the formal financial economy. With the E-naira, payments for salaries, goods, and services can be concluded. It means plumbers can accept payments on their phone and make transactions with any vendor. What's more, soon a trader dealing with a bank in Burkina Faso will also be able to settle their import bills from the Gambia using E-naira. But there are still some risks. The E-naira is online, and so the risk of malicious actors attempting to hack or gain access to your data still exists. Next in a race, Ghana will be trying ECD from October 2021.
Ambassador Nat, tell me again, is this what we need at this time? Is it really going to work? I really need to know. I don't want to be a critic of Nigerian actions or Nigerian government's activities. I'm just a presenter. I don't take decisions here. Is this thing going to work? What is the worth of E-naira?
The worth of the E-naira is the same worth as 800 naira to £1. That is what it means. So it is not, the E-naira is not going to be any better. It might be worse than the normal naira the economy is used to. The E-naira, electronic naira, and the digital economy is just high-sounding words. Because as long as your economy is not working, nothing else will work. And as long as there is no active productivity or production in your economy, no value to your currency. So I think the E-naira launch is just another publicity stunt, which we see Buhari is so interested in standing in front of cameras, seeming to be doing something, and he's not doing anything. The E-naira was supposed to have been launched either 1st or 2nd of October.
1st of October, yeah, it's supposed to be 1st of October, yeah.
Yeah, but politics went into it. The FMLA, the governor of the central bank, was to launch that E-naira thing, but the Buhari team in the villa said, your governor of central bank cannot do that thing with you there as the president. And so the thing was postponed without any explanation to the world. And then yesterday was there about it took place. The the number of people in Nigeria that have mobile phones is not up to 100 million out of a population of 200 million people. So we have been told by the National Assembly that telephone coverage, mobile phone coverage is not available in all parts of Nigeria. But here we are now told that the E-naira thing is going to bring in more usage and more coverage of mobile telephones. We just like doing things because we want to be first in Africa, or few of the countries in the world who are doing E-naira or electronic money. And if you look at those few countries, they are developing countries, or third world countries we call them, the Caribbean and one other country. That's where they have the electronic currency. Serious countries, developed countries in the West, in the East, are not even contemplating or dreaming or thinking of any electronic currency. And so another white elephant project has been launched, and we see how it will perform within the
How is this taken in the Western world, this E-naira? I mean, do they see it as a joke, or they take it as if that is Nigeria something, well, be it?
Nobody is even taking note of such a thing. So they are not even, it's not being even considered as anything. It will not be able to compete with any currency. It is the pound sterling, dollar, euro, CFA. So
let me ask Mark in Milan, to what extent is this currency? Should we call? They said it's not cryptocurrency. What exactly is the federal government doing? Is it just to make some noise? Is it acceptable in West African countries, with Ghana doing its own ECD? Are we behaving like China, who has rejected the Bitcoin? What are we really doing?
Thank you very much, Dr. Shago. Ambassador Nat gave good statements on that, but I want to say something. The world is watching, actually, because this is the very first African country to come up with this idea. The Central Bank of Nigeria joined the growing list of emerging markets, financial markets on digital money. So it's a big thing. The world of financial centers and corporates are watching because it could affect them also directly or indirectly. So they are taking note of it. They are not playing. Bloomberg market surveyors did a very good round on it yesterday. And that's to tell you that they are watching. So New York is watching, New York stock market is watching, Asian stock market, they are all watching what's going on. Nigeria has become the very first country in Africa and one of the first in the world also. Take note that the E thing is quite different from the cryptocurrency, like you said. So this is a different kind of concept. And Nigeria is Africa #1 and also in the list of the world's pioneers to do this. So he's introducing this digital currency to its citizen. The president said a lot in the launching yesterday in Abuja. He said the adoption of this of the central bank digital currency and its technology will increase Nigerians' gross domestic product by $29 billion over the next 10 years. So these were his words. So
when we saw the sliding value of the Naira,
let's see how that works. Since it's a blockchain, now the blockchain means they use binaries and data to control. Somehow it could increase the value of the Naira. Yes, it could. So we are trying to really understand it very well here in Schengen Story, and we are also looking at what the experts are saying. The experts are the ones that are giving us insights into this whole arrangement. But it's a big thing. It's not a joke.
Yes, but we are told that if you hold on to a lot of E-naira, you can never get an interest on your money. Why will I want to do such a thing?
Well, this is the initial statement they are saying. But what we know is when there is a blockchain money transaction, it increases the value. It increases the value of that currency.
But
so,
the interest is not coming to you like it will do if you put your money in another bank somewhere. At least they will give you an interest after a while. But in the E-naira, there will be no interest.
Yes, no interest. But it enhances business transaction.
Definitely, yes. It enhances business transaction where people are literate. It's not taking the illiterates who don't have such phones into consideration, or is it? No, we're just trying to look at the advantages and disadvantages. We're not pulling it down. I'm not pulling it down. I just want everybody to be very much aware that the E-naira is meant for the educated ones who will understand.
Like Nat stated also, it has to do with your mobile device and how many people have access to mobile device. It's not even up to 100 million Nigerians. You know, we still have quite a number of people that don't have access to mobile devices.
And I think the most important of it all is that with the number of Yahoo boys in Nigeria, and if they should have access to your E-naira, and they will be gunning to see what they can do. I don't know, because I'm not that fraudulently inclined.
Yes, sir. That's where we come in. For example, we here are monitoring things. The scammers and the hackers are more active in Africa, in Nigeria, than most parts of Africa, and they've done havoc to people mere email and SMS. Talk less of something now coming into this space that needs real good monitoring. And I was trying to understand who those behind the logarithms of arranging that E-naira I'm yet to get to be convinced at the authenticity of security, you know. So these boys, the Yahoo boys, are smarter than anybody else. These boys will capitalize on some open doors and really strike.
Okay, let me ask you a final question before I go to Nat.
Yes,
will you be sending money to your loved ones in Nigeria through the E-naira?
For now, we're watching. No.
You don't have to answer it if it's too difficult a question. You don't have to answer. Let me get to Ambassador Nat in London. Nat, I know it's a difficult one. Changing your money to E-naira, £1 to 800 naira, and before you wake up the following day, it may be £1 to 900 naira. And somebody may be thrown to jail for writing it on internet and the rest. Now, what will you say? We have this story here, Nat, and I think you are a very intelligent and wise person. But we have this story here, which I want you to react to. The Punch newspaper in Nigeria has this story. The Senate Committee on Local and Foreign Loans on Tuesday kicked against the proposal by the Federal Ministry of Health to borrow $200 million under the malaria program to buy mosquito nets in the 2022 budget. The committee's condemnation was in response to the Ministry of Health submission about intention to borrow the amount for purchase of mosquito nets for 13 vulnerable states. The permanent secretary of the ministry, Mahmoud, had justified the proposal before the panel. He said the loan, if approved by the National Assembly and access, will be used to medically fight malaria in the 13 orphan states, which cover 208 local government councils and 3,436 primary health care centers. Angered by his submission, Senator Oluriegbe and the other senators present descended heavily on the PAMSEC and the executive. Now, this $200 million loan to buy mosquito nets is not for the whole country, but to certain 13 orphan states. Ambassador Nat, you are an elder statesman. Please, you want to throw light? Should we just approve it and stop Nigeria from dying from malaria?
Well, we know malaria is a pandemic, not only in Nigeria, but maybe West Africa. And we know that not of recent, there was no vaccine for malaria. And malaria had become resistant to even chloroquine and other drugs. But the issue of buying mosquito nets in the budget for that amount, this is not the first time we will hear such things. Remember this Muhammad Buhari, when he was in charge of the petroleum, what is it now?
PCP, yeah.
Yes, he bought mosquito nets, and when Obasanjo came in 1999, and he was looking at the amount of money that was used to buy mosquito nets, he just shook his head because it doesn't match up with realities on ground. Nigerians have survived malaria over the years, even though some die. But when you now want to invest such colossal amount of money into buying mosquito nets, then there is a very big question. And we know we know normally what will happen to that money if approved by the National Assembly member or the House of Rep. You know that the House of Rep members or that committee will have part of the money. People in the ministry will have part of the money, and the minister definitely will want to ship some of those mosquito nets to Nigeria Republic or to Chad. So this is it is very scandalous. It is very scandalous. It is very embarrassing that we are talking of such amount of money into the budget in 2021, and we this is shameful. And we quickly want to remember that a former Minister of Agriculture built a mosque in a village somewhere in the northeast at the cost of 30 million naira, a mosque. Maybe even in Saudi Arabia, I don't think they will have those type of
30 million naira. Was that his personal money?
Well, taxpayers' money. Taxpayers' money.
Now, I really want Nigerians who are listening to us to react. If that is how they want to put a problem on the generations to come, because this loan will be paid by the next generation, $200 million upon all the money we have borrowed to do rail, to do roads, to don't even let us go to whether they spend the money properly. Now, is this what we want to bestow on the next generation, to be paying money for mosquito nets? Mark?
Dr. Shagun, no. This is not right. This is not fair to the next generation. This is not good for them. The Minister of Works, Fashola, the Nigerian Minister for Works, Fashola, was giving some excuses, but those excuses cannot be. We can't take that. He was saying something on the Yoruba BBC radio TV program, and his reasons were, he gave an analogy of a man that married and now has so many children, and how that man that has married and has many children needs to go out and borrow money to take care of the children, to get a big house, to expand. Now, he used the word borrow money. So he's saying that it's legit to do this. Nigerian government should go out and borrow money. But what we find out is, well, to an extent, borrowing is not a crime. Borrowing is not the offense now. It is what we borrow for, like you just said. Imagine buying mosquito nets. And it is the fact that we put the borrowed money into projects that don't bring us anything in return. And also we borrow with high, the percentage interest rate is not reasonable. We are borrowing like people that are desperate to breathe. So we just take anything that is offered to us. And I found out also that most times Nigerian government comes to rickety organizations around the world, like in Europe. There is what you call the French Club, the Paris Club, all these things. These are just small monetary homes in Europe. But because we have this inferiority complex about ourselves, we think they are a very big organization, and we come to borrow money from them, and they will put big interest rate on us. Meanwhile, some of these homes, for those of us that are in Europe, when you see some of those organizations, they are just mere small financial institution. You know, even the places they are situated, we don't reckon with them. But we will come all the way and say, oh yeah, Paris Club. We give them all this prominence, borrow us money, Paris Club. We borrow money from Paris Club.
It is nauseating that President Buhari and his family and all the rich Nigerians, never mind how they made their money, they go abroad for medical tourism. But for the poor 13 orphaned states, I don't know how they came to those states, those 13 orphaned states. I don't know how the yardstick, now they're going to buy them $200 million worth of mosquito nets. I really don't know how they want to distribute it and how some people will not feel marginalized. Will you distribute this in water areas where the mosquitoes are likely to develop, or you are going to distribute them in northern states where there are few water and the less likelihood of malaria parasites through the different metamorphorical developments, because there will be questions to be asked. If you say one state, say Sokoto is an orphan state, and you distribute mosquito nets there, and you don't distribute in rivers, where it generates money for Nigeria, where there is water, where there's likely to be more mosquitoes, you're going to lead to problems. I mean, I don't know what the myriad of problems, but we can start looking at it politically. Some people go abroad, they get medical medication. Some people say they get a mosquito nets, but I'm told that these mosquito nets, they are treated. Do you know?
Yes, that they are specially fabricated mosquito nets.
They kill mosquito. The nets kill mosquito.
Yes, that's it. Somehow it's insulated with something that makes the mosquito to die. Well, talking about mosquito, it's an area we need to address more also in Africa, and mainly Nigeria as a tropic place. But borrowing money to do those kind of things is hilarious, you know. And what's the arrangement? What are the arrangement on ground? Like you just said now, when those nets comes, so they might not even be distributed well, and some people might jack it up and probably hide it, like they hide the palliatives.
Some people may be given and they will sell it.
Sell it, yes, sell it. You see the next day, you see it in the marketplace. Somebody's putting it as to buy, and that project will just go underground like every other project goes. So,
Ambassador Nat, are you going to use this net in an hotel when you travel to Nigeria and you see the hotel you are going to stay? Oh, we have the well-treated mosquito nets bought in America or wherever they're going to buy it. Is that the hotel you want to stay?
Let me just add this one. The last time I was in Nigeria, I attended a wedding ceremony, and mosquito nets were being distributed as souvenirs. So I don't even know when last I used a mosquito net, even when I was in Nigeria. I think the recommended safety is keep your environment clean. When I was growing up, the health inspectors come. They say what you do is make sure there's no stagnant water nearby, cut down your bushes, clean your place. So lifestyle and sanitation will keep mosquitoes away, period.
Let me say this on an international forum like Schengen Media and News Echo. Let me say this one. There is a Nigerian in United Kingdom. His name is Gosinazu. He has gone to produce mosquito, which is a big product. He's selling. Why do we need mosquito net when there is a mosquito? He's not asking me to advertise. I may get to him and collect money for advertisement. But honestly, Google mosquito and it will be sent to you anywhere in the world. $200 million. Give Gosinazu $1 million out of it. He will supply every state in Nigeria with mosquito, and mosquito will never chop you. On that note, shall we bring the meeting to a close? Or you want to say something, Mark? What would you like to say? Your last take.
I like what you just said. I want to say that's a good one. Like we just talked of borrowing money. Now, the government doesn't know that most of these things they borrow money for could be harnessed, could be arranged locally. I mean, we have people in that angle. You just talked about mosquito now. Now, if the government comes into a business collaboration with Azul, I mean, you don't need to go and borrow money to do that.
Not at all. Mosquito. Ambassador Nat from London, what will be your last take for today? I'm raising up my hand for mosquito. I don't want a mosquito net.
I raise my hands for mosquito too.
Mosquito. Ambassador Nat, what's your last take for today as we close?
My last take is yesterday in Riyadh, Buhari was talking of debt forgiveness. If you want to be forgiven your debt, stop borrowing.
It makes sense.
Stop borrowing.
Well, we hope I hope we will meet. We pray that he will meet with the Lord in Riyadh as he goes for lesser Hajj. We wish him well. We pray he returns well. What's the last take, Mark in Milan?
Thank you, sir. Nothing. We've done justice to some of the topics that have been making around. We're watching all events occur, and we're following to bring updates. Thank you.
Well, that's the way we'll go to for today. We want to thank my colleagues, Mark in Milan and the crew in Milan. We thank you very much. I want to thank my colleague in Central London, Ambassador Nati Yakwo. Thank you for your elder statesmanly discussions and wisdom. And
thank you.
If you ask me my last take, get no keto and don't borrow money. Permanent Secretary, Federal Ministry of Health, National Assembly, get it right. No Skito is waiting for you. And with a discount, that's how far we'll go today. My name is Sheikh Johnson. On the next Wednesday, where we bring you the latest. God bless you all.
God bless you, sir. Thank you. Goodbye.